You can talk all day, but if your body doesn't back it up, it's useless. And vice versa, if you've been in the gym for years, but you freeze up when it comes down to tough conversations, it's still useless, right? One thing I realized, with all these debates, whether it's, it's all about money, or maybe some people say it's all about body game. Some people say, no, you just need to have Rizz, mouthpiece. I think in this certain realm, body game and Rizz, mouthpiece, PUA, whatever you want to call it, they go hand in hand, right? See, because body game is the resume, right? Body game is the resume. It gets you an interview, right? It generates leads, right? It gets people interested in you. It gets women interested in you, right? But if you are not able to be successful on that job interview, if you're not able to have a conversation, you don't get the job, right? So now you're begging the question, what is more important? Is it body game? Is it Rizz? Is it mouthpiece? Right? And I think both of these things, they need each other. They're two sides of the same coin, right? And that's why I'm going to argue for both, right? But I will say, though, the more you have like body game, I feel like the Rizz mouthpiece kind of matters a little bit less, right? I feel like when you over focus on Rizz or mouthpiece, or like trying to do this pickup artist shit, I feel like you end up becoming a dancing monkey. You're trying to overcompensate. You're trying too hard, right? When I think natural charisma is just being yourself, being the best version of yourself, being comfortable with who you are and being able to articulate your words, right? But when it comes down to, body game and mouthpiece or Rizz, whatever you want to call it, there's so many different names for it. I think that you need both, and both are very important. And I'm going to explain to you why using this specific example. But before I use this example, I just want to say, make sure you book a one-on-one coaching call if you're struggling to hop on body game and you need help getting in the best shape of your life. You need help to get jacked for summer. I'm the guy for that. We'll see if it makes sense to work together. Hit the link in the description. Right, little shameless plug for those of you guys that need it, right? Make sure you like this video while you're at it, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you've been watching these videos and you haven't subscribed, that's crazy. But subscribe. But like I was saying, an example I always like to use is there was a season of Too Hot to Handle that I was watching years ago. Some of you guys may know the show Too Hot to Handle. It's on Netflix. It's like a reality TV show, dating show, right? And it was very interesting. The season, I think it was season 5, if I'm not correct. I think it was with a girl named Ellis, Alex, and Hunter, right? And this was probably one of my favorite seasons. It was very interesting to watch because it literally describes what I'm about to talk about here. So in the show, they're on this island. It's a dating show, and Ellis clearly states that she likes guys that are blonde hair, blue eyes, tall, muscular in shape, right? And that's what she's attracted to. That's what she likes, right? And Hunter fit her description, and off rip, like, he got that job interview. His foot was already in the door. He got the interview. He was able to secure a date with her first, right? There was another guy named Alex, I believe it was, and he had brown hair, I think brown eyes, and he was muscular. He was in shape. He was decent. He was like, he wasn't an ugly dude, right? Like, he was an attractive dude according to her, right? But he wasn't her ideal type, right? And so it just goes to and here's the kicker here. So Hunter got his foot in the door because he is her ideal type. So he got his foot in the door. He got the job interview. He got the date, right? He got the date before Alex did. Mind you, they're both trying to go for her, right? And so Hunter goes on the date with Ellis, and she realizes that Hunter is a complete cornball. He has no mouthpiece, right? He's just corny, right? She's having this interview with him, this date with him, right? And he's corny. She's just not interested in this guy's personality. She's like, what the hell? This guy's talking about cheese and shit, and he's like throwing fruit all over the place and being a kid. Like, he's being like, he's awkward. And you could tell he's trying too hard, right? And he just doesn't have that social charisma, right? She doesn't feel like she can actually connect with him, right? She doesn't feel a genuine human connection with him. She feels like it's forced. She's not interested, right? She's like, okay, he's not what I thought, right? And you see and then eventually she actually gives Alex a chance, and Alex is brown hair, brown eyes, right? He's not her ideal type, but he's still, he's in shape. He's still decently attractive dude, right? And she goes on a date with him, and his personality, she actually vibes with him. He actually has the charisma. He's funny. He makes her laugh, and she feels good around him, right? Because, like, he builds that charisma, right? He builds that charisma with her, and they're able to talk and connect, right? And eventually he actually wins her over, right? And the point I'm going with this whole story is that Bodygame and Mouthpiece are really important. As you saw in this example, Hunter only had Bodygame, right? He had the looks. He Looksmaxxed. He did everything he needed to do to get the job interview, right? But Hunter, he did Alex did the Looksmaxxing, but he also focused on his personality. He also focused on being able to have conversations, being able to make human connections with people, right? That's why he was able to win her over, right? The point I'm trying to make here is that Bodygame buys you enough time before she actually thinks you're a cornball, right? It buys you enough time to get your foot in the door. It boosts your resume at the top of the pile, right? But it's not the end all be all. You still need to be able to have that charisma, be able to build human connection, be able to conversate with people, right? It's not the end all be all. And I think with Bodygame, sure, Bodygame gives you confidence. It makes you think highly of yourself because, you know, you're holding yourself to a higher standard. You're putting in that work. It's undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. But I also think there needs to be effort into, you know, your communication skills and being able to communicate with people, you know, because Bodygame gives you the confidence to step out of your comfort zone and be able to make that development towards becoming more social and developing your social skills and things of that nature, so that you can actually build human connections, right? So that's why I'm never going to say that one is more important than the other. Now, I will say that it can become corny when you over focus on, you know, the Rizz pickup artist stuff. Like, you're doing all these weird pickup line shit. Like, that's not what I'm talking about. That's when it becomes cringe. That's when you're overcompensating. You're trying too hard. You're not being yourself at that point, right? What Alex did right was he was genuinely being himself, and you could tell that this guy, he's socially like calibrated. He's able to be charismatic in his own way, right? He's able to connect with people. He's able to communicate with people whilst being himself. And that's what true Rizz or true Mouthpiece is, where you're able to actually communicate with people just by being yourself and just being a good communicator, being able to express yourself and displaying that confidence and, you know, being comfortable in your own skin, right? And that's something that Hunter lacked, right? He had the Bodygame, but he hasn't worked on himself to the point where he's able to communicate with people. He's able to have conversations. He's able to, you know, connect with other people, it seems like. I don't know these guys personally in their own lives. This is all reality TV show, but it just kind of goes to show that, you know, Bodygame and Mouthpiece, you know, they work together. They're hand in hand. They're two sides of the same coin, because Alex had the Bodygame, but he also had the Mouthpiece, and that's why he won in the end, right? Because he had both. Because he's not a one-trick pony, like I'm always talking about. There's nothing enlightening about playing small, right? And playing small is when you only focus on one thing. You only focus on Rizz, or you only focus on Bodygame, and that can be very dangerous, because then you become like Hunter, who was a one-trick pony, and he failed his mission. He bought himself enough time to get that date, to get that interview, right? But he fumbled the bag because he didn't have the Mouthpiece to match it, right? Because one without the other is like a shoe. It's like a fresh pair of kicks that doesn't quite fit yet, right? It's a fresh pair of Jordans, but there's something missing. It doesn't quite fit. You can't have one without the other. You need both, right? There's nothing enlightening about playing small, right? You have to become a Thanos. You have to have every single attribute at your disposal. You have to make sure you give yourself a fighting chance, right? So that's why you should go all in on every area of life. You know, looks, money, status, Bodygame, Rizz, whatever you want to call it. That's why it's so important, because it sets you ahead of other guys, right? It gives you that competitive advantage when you're able to be, you know, a 7 in each category. Like First Man likes to say this, the straight 7 system, which I think is very effective. You know, when you maximize each category at least above 7, where you're at least above average in all categories, you know, and that actually puts you as a, you know, top percentile man. But that's pretty much all I had to say for this video, man. Let me know down below what you guys think, because I'm kind of curious. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Make sure you book a one-on-one coaching call if you need help getting in shape for the summer. You need help hopping on Bodygame and all that good stuff. And remember, there's nothing enlightening about playing small. Oh, I forgot to say, send this to someone who really needs to hear it. And like I'm always saying, there's nothing enlightening about playing small. I'll catch you guys next video. See ya.